Hi there! Welcome to tkinter. This is Joshua and I'm going to introduce you how to program a calculator in Python. Before we jump into the video, please subscribe and click the notification bell to receive future videos from my channel. If you haven't already watched my previous video about programming a rolling dice, I put a link in the description box below so you can watch the video. Now I'm going to introduce you how to program the calculator. For this program, you don't need to install anything with the pip command. Let's open Python from the Windows Programs list. Click Start, Python, and then ideally Python. Let's open a new file to start programming. File menu, New File. Let's close the shell and let's maximize the Python programming window. Let me make the screen bigger so you can see better. Before we start programming, let me show you the final result. Here you can see a calculator with number buttons, arithmetic operation buttons, a decimal point button, an equals button, clear button, and at the top, a display. Let's start doing arithmetic operations. So I'm going to start off with addition. I'm going to do 40 plus 20 equals, you can see that the answer 60 has been displayed. Let's clear it. Now let's do some subtraction. 18 minus 13 equals, the answer 5 has been displayed. Let's clear it. Now let's do some multiplication. I'm going to do 9 times 5. 9 times 5 equals 45. You can see that 45 has been displayed. Let's clear it. Now let's do some division. I'm going to do 14 divided by 7 equals, you can see that the answer 2 has been displayed. Now let's clear it. I'm going to finish off with some decimal point. Now I'm going to do 5.5 plus 6.2 equals, you can see that the answer 11.7 has been displayed. Let's clear it and let's close the calculator and let's close the shell. Now that I've shown you the final product, let's start programming it. In this program, there are 4 steps. Step 1. Importing the modules. For this program, we only need one module, and that is the tkinter module. To use it, we have to import it first. We're not going to use the whole of the tkinter module, we're only going to use the asterisk. To do that, type from tkinter import asterisk. Enter, enter. Step 2. Creating the functions. We're only going to make 2 functions, and they're going to be called button frame and buttons. So let's create button frame first. Type define. Instead of typing define, we type def space button underscore frame open brackets source comma side close brackets colon enter. So this button frame here is the screen, the background screen, which the buttons are going to be placed on. So now let's define it. Type store capital OBJ equals, so this is a variable that we're going to create, and I'm going to call it and I called it store obj. You can call it anything you like, and then type capital F frame, open brackets, source, comma. Now I'm going to set the border width, how thick the border is. Border width equals, I'm going to set it to 4, comma, then I'm going to set how far apart they are. Type BD equals, I'm going to also set it to 4, so that's how far apart they are. Then do comma, I'm going to set its background color. Type BG, that stands for background color, equals, open quotation marks, then type a color in. I choose sky blue, then close quotation marks, close brackets, enter. Now we've created it, now let's pack it. Now, packing means basically just displaying it on the screen. Let's do that. Store, capital OBJ, dot pack, open brackets, side equals side, comma, expand equals all capitals yes. If you don't want the screen to be expandable, then type no. This is basically the background, so when the screen is stretched, should the background move as well? I'm saying yes it should. If you don't want it to move, type capital N, then type all capitals no. But I want it to be yes. Okay, comma. Now let's type fill equals all capitals both, close brackets, enter. Then type return space store capital OBJ, enter, enter. Now let's create the second function. This is going to be the buttons. Define space buttons, open brackets, source, comma, side, comma, text, comma, command equals capital N none, close brackets, colon, enter. Then type store, capital OBJ, equals capital B button, open brackets. I'm going to make it on the source, comma, text equals text, comma, command equals command, close brackets. So this is saying the text should be the text that we're going to type, and the command is going to be basically what we type. I'll explain later. Enter, then type store, capital OBJ, dot pack, open brackets. If you're wondering, we are copying this line here from the first function, this one. Now I'm going to do that. Instead of copying, I'm just going to retype it. Side equals side, comma, expand equals all capitals yes. This is so that if the screen is stretched, should the buttons stretch as well? I made it yes. If you don't want it to, then type no in all capitals, comma, fill equals both. Make sure both is all capitals. Close brackets, enter. Now do the other command. Return space store capital OBJ. Enter, enter. Now we've created both functions. Step 3. Creating an app class. A class is similar to a function. It is a blueprint for a character or an object. To create one, type class space then the class name. In this case, it is an app class, so I'm going to call it app, class app, open brackets, and it's going to be taking in a frame, so I can choose the background color of it whenever I want. do capital F, frame, close brackets, colon, enter. And now let's continue. You have to type define, space, underscore, underscore, init, underscore, underscore, open brackets, self, close brackets, colon, enter. So here we're defining a function that we're going to create. We haven't created it yet, but I'm going to call it. So it will automatically run itself. So I'm going to type frame, make sure frame has a capital F, frame dot underscore underscore init, underscore underscore, open brackets, self, close brackets. So I've called the function and I haven't created it yet. So let's continue creating the function. Enter. Now let's create it. Self dot option underscore add, open brackets, apostrophe asterisk. Make sure you put this asterisk there. Then do capital F, font, apostrophe, comma, apostrophe, then type your font name. I'm choosing Arial. And I'm going to do space, then choose your font size. I choose 20, space. Now I'm going to choose if it's bold, normal, or italics. I want it to be bold. If you want it to be italics or normal, then you can type either of them. Apostrophe, close brackets, enter. Self.pack, open brackets, expand, equals capitals, all capitals, yes. So this is deciding if the screen should be expandable. If you put yes for all of the other expands, then put yes here. Then do comma, fill, equals all capitals both, close brackets, enter. Then do self.master.title, open brackets, apostrophe. Now we're going to type a title. Mine is going to be calculator, apostrophe, close brackets. So this title is going to appear at the top of the screen in the white bar. Then press enter. Now type display equals, then type capital S string, then type capital V AR, open brackets, close brackets. Make sure string variable is one word, and then do enter, and then type capital E entry, open brackets. So this is the display screen at the very, very top. And we typed entry, so you can type inside of the display screen and you can just press the buttons, but it is best to press the buttons. Then type self, comma, relief, equals all capitals ridge. So this is how the buttons should look like on the edges. I chose ridge. You can choose anything you like based on what type of slope you like. Then do comma, and then do text variable. Make sure text variable is one word, then type equals display, comma. I'm going to set the justification to the right. I'll tell you what it means once I type it. Justify equals apostrophe right, apostrophe. So I chose right because on traditional calculators the numbers and the operation symbols always stay to the right side. That's why I typed right. If you want it to be center, then type center. Make sure center is spelled C-E-N-T-E-R if you use it. And then if you want left, then type left, but I want it to be right. Then do comma. Now I'm going to set the length of the entry. I'm going to set it to 30. BD equals 30, comma. Now I'm going to set its background color. BD equals open quotation marks. I'm going to set it to my old color, sky blue. You can choose any color you like. close quotation marks, close brackets. Now, to continue, we can move two ways. We can pack it, so we have to pack the entry on the screen. We can do it as a separate line or on the same line. I'm going to do it on the same line. Type dot pack, open brackets, side equals all capitals top, comma, I'm going to make it expandable, expand equals all capitals yes. So when the screen expands, this also expands, comma, then type fill equals all capitals both, close brackets, enter, then type for clear capital B button, make sure clear capital B button is one word, then do in space, open brackets, open square brackets, open quotation marks, capital C, or any text that you like, close quotation marks, close square brackets, close brackets. Make sure your text is only one letter long, because if it was clear, the whole word, then there would be 5 buttons in total, because there are 5 letters. That's why you can only have one letter. That's why I chose C, then press colon, enter. Now I'm going to define what erase means. So this is going to erase everything on the screen. Erase equals button underscore frame, open brackets, self, comma, all capitals top, close brackets. So this is basically saying it should be placed on the button frame and it should be somewhere around the top, and enter. Now I'm going to say if this button is pressed, then do something. So for I character, so this is how many characters in this text that we typed here. Right now there's only one character, which is C. If we type clear, there will be 5 characters, so there would be 5 buttons. Let's make it C. Then type space in, space clear, capital B button, colon, enter, buttons, open brackets, erase, comma, all capitals left, comma, I character, comma, lambda. Make sure lambda is spelled LAMBDA. It will turn orange if you spelt it right. Space store, capital OBJ, equals display, comma, Q equals I character, colon, store, capital OBJ, dot set, open brackets, apostrophe, apostrophe, close brackets, and close brackets again. We must not type anything inside of these apostrophes because we need a blank screen when we press the clear button. If we type something in here and we press the clear button, then that would be displayed on the screen. So we don't need to type anything in there. Enter, backspace, backspace. Now we're going to do the number buttons. Type 4. I'm going to call it num, capital B button. Space in, space, open brackets, open quotation marks. We're starting from the top left and we're working our way down to the bottom right. I'm going to start off with 7, 8, 9 because that's those keys at the top. Then do at the very top it's division, so type / close quotation marks, comma, open quotation marks, 4, 5, 6, and then do asterisk symbol for multiplication, close quotation marks, comma, open quotation marks, 1, 2, 3, and then it's the subtraction symbol, close quotation marks, comma, then I'm going to do open quotation marks, 0, decimal point, and then it's going to be the addition symbol, close quotation marks, close brackets, colon, enter. Now I'm going to create something called function num. So this is actually going to make the buttons work. Capital F function, capital N num. Make sure function num is one word. It stands for function number equals button underscore frame, open brackets, it's on self, comma, and it's at the top, close brackets. We type button frame because it's meant to be on top of the button frame. Then do enter for I capital E equals space in, so here we're doing the function for when we press the button, in space num capital B button, colon, enter, buttons, open brackets, function, make sure function has a capital F, capital N num, it's one word, comma, all capitals left, comma, then type I capital E equals, comma, lambda, space, store, capital OBJ, equals display, comma, Q, equals I capital E equals, colon, store, capital OBJ, dot set, open brackets, store, capital OBJ, dot get, open brackets, close brackets, plus Q, close brackets again. Enter backspace. Now let's define the equals button. Capital E equal, capital B button. Make sure equal button is one word. Equals button underscore frame, open brackets, self, comma, all capitals, top, close brackets, enter, backspace. Now let's create the function for equal button. So what I mean is when we press the button, what should it do? I'm going to do for space I capital E equals in space open quotation marks equals close quotation marks colon enter. Then do if space I capital E equals apostrophe equals apostrophe colon enter. So these two lines here are basically saying if the equals button is pressed, then we should do something. We're going to define what it should do right now. btn I capital E equals. Make sure btn I equals is one word. btn stands for button, and I equals is for the function. Equals. So this is going to be a variable I'm going to create. Buttons, open brackets, capital E equal, capital B buttons, comma, all capitals left, comma, and it's I capital E equals, close brackets, enter, then type btni, capital E equals, dot bind. So in this command here, we're going to place the equals button, then do open brackets, apostrophe, less than symbol, capital B button, capital R release. Make sure button release is one word, then do -1, greater than symbol, apostrophe, comma, lambda, space, E, comma, S, equals self, comma, store, capital OBJ, equals display, colon, S dot calc. So calc is going to be a function that we're going to create later. Then do open brackets, store, capital OBJ, close brackets, comma, apostrophe, plus apostrophe, close brackets. So this last part here is basically saying the equals button should be binded underneath the plus button. Then press enter. Now do else, colon, enter. Now we're going to do what happens if we press it. So here, when we press it, it should stay there. That's what we did for the first one. Now we're going to make sure that if we press it, we also display the answer as well. To do that, type btn I capital E equals buttons, open brackets, capital E equal, capital B button, comma, all capitals left, comma, type I capital E equals, comma, lambda, space, store, capital OBJ, equals display, comma, S equals apostrophe, space, %s, space, apostrophe. Make sure you type %s. Then do % I capital E equals, colon, store, capital OBJ, dot set, open brackets, store, capital OBJ, dot get, open brackets, close brackets, plus s, close brackets, and close brackets again. Enter, enter, backspace, backspace, backspace. So remember, 2 enters and 3 backspaces. We are now going to define what calc means. We used it here while doing the btni. So we're going to define it. Type define, space, calc, open brackets, self, comma, display, close brackets, colon, enter. I'm going to do try, colon, enter, display, dot set, open brackets, eval, open brackets, display, dot get, open brackets, close brackets, and close brackets a third time. Enter, backspace. So that was, I was saying, try to get a positive signal. Otherwise, now I'm going to do otherwise, except, colon, enter. Otherwise, I'm going to print an error message. Type display dot set, open brackets, open quotation marks, type your error message. It doesn't always have to be all in capitals. You can change it to small letters if you want to. I just chose big capital letters. Then do close quotation marks, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace, backspace, backspace. So that's 2 enters and 3 backspaces. Step 4. Creating the main loop. So to do the main loop, it's going to be an if loop. So this if loop is going to be if, space, underscore, underscore, name, underscore, underscore, equals, equals, apostrophe, underscore, underscore, main, underscore, underscore, apostrophe, colon, enter. So this line here changes the screen to an appropriate size to accommodate all the buttons. Now we have to type app, or the name of the class that you called it. I called it app. Then do open brackets, close brackets, dot main loop. open brackets, close brackets. Make sure main loop is one word. This command, which we just typed, is to keep the screen open. Now we've finished the program. Let's save it. File menu, save. I'm going to save it in my dedicated folder for these types of programs. If you don't have a folder dedicated to all these programs, then save it out here. Because I have a dedicated folder, I'm going to double click to open it. Then I'm going to just save it here, because I'm not going to create another folder because I don't have multiple files for this program. This is the only file for this program, so I'm just going to save it here. I'm going to call it calculator. Then I'm going to click on save. Then now let's run this. Run module. Here you can see the calculator. Let's do 77 plus 13. Let's press the equals button. You can see that the answer 90 has been displayed. Let's clear it. Now let's do 99 divided by 11 equals, you can see that 9 has been printed. Now let's clear it. Now let's do some deliberate error to see if we get the error message. I'm just going to click the equals button with nothing typed in. You can see that the error has been displayed. Now let's clear it. Now I'm going to do something with the decimal point. 8.4 minus 4.2 equals, you can see that the answer has been displayed. Let's clear it. Now let's do some multiplication. 5 times 5 equals, you can see that the answer 25 has been displayed. Let's clear it. Now let's do 6 times 7 equals, you can see that the answer 42 has been displayed. Let's clear it and let's do one more. 12 times 5 equals, you can see that the answer 60 has been displayed. Let's clear it. Let's close the calculator and let's close the shell. Now let's close the calculator program. In my future videos, I'll be posting tutorials to make programs like color mixers and games. I hope that this video is helpful for you. If you like this video, please smash that like button and share it to your friends and family. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please click that red subscribe button below. If you have any questions or comments about this video, or if you'd like to get links to all of my previous videos, please contact me via email at tkinter@gmail.com. I've put a link in the description box below. See you in the next video!